Well, ladies and gentlemen, Brew Magoo coming at you here. I can say from the 17 Brew Crew, but it's been very, very long time since I've been on that site. I still belong. I haven't forgotten about all you guys out there. I just wanted to finally get back into the swing of things here and post a couple of videos. So the first video I'm going to start with is going to be this one. No, it's going to be kind of a little bit of a beer review on a commercial beer and a little bit of odds and ends, tail end of an all-grain brew that I did the other day, and talk a little bit about that. So, what else can I say? I guess I'm going to dive right in. So anyway, I'm going to talk about a good friend of mine from 17 Brew Crew, Nexia. Next, can vouch for me on this one here, because there is a brewery out in his neck of the woods named Central City. And if anybody's ever tried any of their IPAs or any of the other beers that they have on their menu, know that they're extremely good. I'm quite partial to the Red Racer. I really like that beer. It's one of my good IPAs that I go to. And I also like the Imperial. This one's empty. Drank that one. This is the Imperial Red Racer. Very similar to just a regular Red Racer, except it's got 9% ABV, I believe. Yes, 9%. So it's a powerhouse of a bottle, and it's huge too. So, but today, the beer review, I don't have one for the regular Red Racer. Can maybe. But today is going to be another beer from Central City. And I believe it's a seasonal beer, and it's only available in the summer. But if I'm wrong on that, then I'm sure Nexia can chime in and let me know, or anybody else that's familiar with the Central City beers that they have. This one is called Red Racer Maple Bacon Ale. Now, despite of the shirt that I'm wearing that does say American on it, I am Canadian, but I am not a huge fan of maple. But that's not why I bought this beer, and that's not why I wanted to try it. It was the fact that it says bacon on it, and it's got a huge stack of pancakes. So I'm hoping that the maple isn't overwhelming. There was a beer festival that I attended a couple of months back, and this beer was not at the festival. Everything else that Central City had to offer was there except this one. So I'm not going to waste any more time talking about it. I'm going to give it a crack, and we're going to dive right in. So let's have a go here. Not even going to take a nose off the bottle. My nice glass. It's from a nice restaurant that we have out here. They were kind enough to sell me the glass. $1.50. Here we go. I can smell it already, but I'm not talking about anything right now until I get a proper nose off the glass. It's a gorgeous color. It's not quite as red as their Red Racer, but it does have a nice coppery color to it. You pick that up. Lots of tiny little bubbles. It looks as though it's quite effervescent. It is an ale, and it's got a nice little cap on it. Let's just tilt the camera down here and have a peek. Looking good. Let's have a smell here. I'm not picking up any smokiness from the bacon aspect of it. It is a rather sweet aroma. I would say maybe not necessarily maple syrup, but definitely a pancake table type syrup, like a Mrs. Butterworth's or something like that, or a Aunt Jemima, but not the maple. No hops, virtually, yeah, no hops. I'm not even going to say virtually none, because I'm getting none. Smells good though. I'm looking forward to this. Well, I'm not even going to waste any time. I'm diving in. Cheers. 17. Oh, So there's the bacon. And it's not very mapley. So I'm impressed with that. There is a slight hint. Yeah, there is a slight hint of not maple, but maybe of a tree. It's very earthy. So maybe they incorporated some hops in there to bring out that earthy tone to it. That's very, very good. I don't know if I could drink a lot of them, but it's definitely an ale to sit down and enjoy a few pours. Let's have a look at the ABV on this one. 5% ABV. An easy drinking amber ale with hints of maple and smoky bacon. Yeah, they nailed it all right. Yeah, love the logo. And they've also taken small steps to even include a couple of these little ladies down here. Maybe that's the same girl that's on the bicycle, and they just had no from their Red Racer IPA. Maybe they just didn't have any room here, so they threw a fork and knife and a stack of pancakes. It just makes me hungry. In fact, you could probably have one of these or two of these for breakfast and then call it a day. Oh, pardon me. And as far as the carbonation goes, it's not as bubbly as I thought it was going to be. That snowstorm has died right down. Yeah. I'm going to top it up just so it doesn't get too low on me here. But it's certainly nothing like the Imperial. Well, it's or the IPA. It's not an IPA. That's why. Wow. Yeah. I'll be okay. Don't worry. Okay. Well, now that review is out of the way, soon to come, there's going to be a few more reviews. One is actually, I'm not sure if I even had a video showcasing the beer mail that I did receive from Nexia. So, his beers that he was so kind and generous to send me are still unopened. So, and I will showcase them. One of them is a brew that he did. It was a joint effort. I believe it was with him and Coron Zenith. I'm not 100%. It might have been JMCMLXX, or it might have been all three of them. So that one is going to be the next beer review that I do, and Nexia will be very happy about that one. It's long overdue. I apologize again, Nex. Sorry about that, my buddy. And that's it. So the footage after this is going to be a little bit of footage that I took while I was doing an all-grain beer. I did that a couple of days ago, and it's just the tail end of the boil and a look at a piece of equipment that I kind of redneck, kind of red-green, kind of put a little high-tech twist on it. So you'll see that up right away. And you can let me know what you think. And I will tell you now that it worked absolutely astounding. If you can get a hold of what I got a hold of, which you will see, and it doesn't cost you a lot, like it didn't cost me anything, it cost me a big fat zero. I actually got two of them, and if anybody is anywhere near where I live and wants the second one, by all means, they're more than welcome to take it. It does take up a little bit of space. I know I'm building this up a little bit, but wait till you see it. It might look a little rough, but it was a piece of equipment that worked so well that if I could shrink it down and stick it on the end of my brew station or my two-tier brewing station, I would gladly mount it on there. I don't think I could make it any smaller than it is. I just used it the way it was with a few modifications to it. So that is the footage to follow this. And so I'm going to switch over to this. This is my boil of my 5-gallon batch of my Fat Tug clone. I'm calling it Sticky Lips. It has a total of 14 ounces of hops throughout the whole thing, including some 7-day hops, some flame out hops, all sorts of goodness in there. She's been boiling along now for probably close to 20 minutes. I got another 40 or so to go. I just wanted to show everybody out there I guess you want to call it a redneck wort chiller, but it's got some high tech behind it, so I'm not sure if that's even possible. Well, everybody knows what the immersion chillers look like. I'll pan over. I'm sorry for the shakiness, but there's my immersion chiller. Looks pretty standard. But then going to the hoses, I've got a hold of an old self-contained soda fountain chiller that has a refrigeration unit at the bottom. And I've hooked on a pump to recycle the water through the wort chiller and then back in. And you can see on the top here, it's an insulated tank that probably holds about 10 gallons or so. And the temperature of the water that's in there right now is, let's see if this will focus. I got 1 degree Celsius. It's a lot colder than that, but that's as low as that thermostat goes. And you can see my recycle hose going in there. I haven't turned the pump on yet. Managed to score this for free. I actually got 2 units. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other one. I haven't quite figured it out yet. It's a little bit big and bulky, but I may put some shelving or so around here to support the pump. Go a little fancy. And there's my mash tun and my brew stand in the back. It's about 32 degrees here without the humidity in lovely Manitoba. I also scored a couple of big, huge, full-size beer kegs. Got the top of them, one of them off. I'm going to cut the other top and turn that into my hot liquor tank and get rid of that. It does the job though. There we go, back outside. These are bullion hops. Very similar to Northern Brewer, or Brewer's Gold. Brewer's Gold, sorry. They have a black currant undertone. And they're not easy to come by, but I managed to find some rhizomes and I've planted. I've got about a dozen vines or so. I'll back up here, I'll check it out. They're growing quite nicely up the side of the garage there. This one here seems to be the biggest one. There's about 3 going up one piece of twine. And look at the cones are developing quite nicely. And then there's these 2 in the middle, which I don't know the names of them. I planted them separate, picked them up from a greenhouse, and they didn't know the names. There's not really any cones growing on these. It is the first year though, and I've heard that the first year you don't get much. But when you go way up to the top, I can't really focus too well, but those aren't cones up there. They look like the start of grapes. So either I got grapevines, or those are some sort of strange seeds. And I don't know if hops grow seeds or not. I'll see if I can get a better angle at this here. So if anybody knows what variety these are, if they are indeed a hop variety, and why they would have little seeds and not cones and no flowering of whatnot. So I don't know. Well, that's it, folks. One last shot at these big ones. Sorry for the shakiness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back at you here. So I hope you liked that. If you didn't, then you can give me a thumbs down or a thumbs up. Every little bit helps. And I apologize once again for the delay. And I'll be back on the forum very soon. If anybody has any questions, comments, feel free and chime in the bottom there, lower section for comments, and let me know what you think about all the stuff I talked about. Or just give me a thumbs up. But until then, happy brewing, safe drinking, and 17. Cheers. I'm out.